Hi Aquarius, I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm seeing you trying to figure out what to do with an opportunity that you have. May also be maybe wanting to prioritize something that's become available to you. I don't know about all that. I'm looking at the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. Sevens speak on karma. I don't know if you really want that to be manifesting. There may be something that you're doing that... Okay, the way that I'm reading this energy, for us to be starting off with the Seven of Swords, this is like, let me not be honest with myself about this. And the Seven of Pentacles, it's like, let me not be honest with myself about like what keeps happening because of this, or about what's manifesting. It can kind of be like, it can kind of be like being in denial of kind of like what's coming about, or like, let me just pretend that it's not going to be a bad situation if I like call my ex up on the phone that I promised I was never going to get back with again. It's like something like that, or just doing something that you feel like is not a good idea. And I'm seeing that you have the opportunity to stop, because this is like a shady investment that's being made here. So this is something that you're doing that you're like, this is the shadow that is trying to manifest. The beautiful thing about this is that whatever outcome this is that would happen because of something shady going on, you can stop this. It has not come to fruition yet, whatever outcome this is. Seven of Pentacles is like, you know when you're on the computer, at least on a Mac, and you have that spinny thing before the action actually takes place? It's kind of like that happening, where something is like downloading or getting caught up or whatever. I'm definitely seeing this be something that is going on your end. Or it can be too, like, before you do something that you would regret, you're like in that space of in between where your conscious is kicking on, and it's like, hey, that may not be a good idea to go down that road. You can stop it now. However, if this goes unchecked, this is going to end up something that like karmically you're going to have backlash for. And this can be so many different things. For some of you, it can be that you're not following your intuition, or you're not trusting your gut with a situation. But you know that something's up for us to start off with the Seven of Swords. It's like, you know that this is not preferable territory that we're moving into. Definitely something shadow related. And this can even be you like messing around with somebody that you know it's not like good news for you to be around. Or doing something that you wouldn't like proudly let everybody know that you're doing. You know, it can be something where you're like trying to hide something that you're doing. Or even like being reactive, or like wanting revenge or something like that. It's just definitely something that looks messy here. Aquarius, you're smarter than this. It can also be too, like with the Seven of Swords, like you justifying something that is just like inappropriate to be justifying as well. This is how you're gonna know like that this is, if something is manifesting for you that you're not okay with, would you be okay with like everybody knowing what this is? If not, or what you're doing or what you're up to, if not, then it's probably not something that is in alignment for you. We can put it that way. But you may be doing this out of desperation. with the Five of Pentacles. Like, I have no other choice than to do this shady thing, whatever this is. I'm so curious. I'm gonna find more. Expose the shadow, bring it to light. Desperate times, desperate times. Yeah, I'm seeing you kind of like catching up with all of this. I'm seeing you be in a space where you're like, I'm in this situation and I don't really know what to do. Like, I'm just hearing this sucks with the Five of Pentacles. Like, really not happy about where you are, and maybe there's just no other way to describe it. Like, this situation is very inopportune, and I'm seeing there be a lot of sadness. I'm seeing there be a lot of disappointment. I'm looking at the Knight of Wands. For some of you, there could have been like cheating that happened in a relationship, or like somebody acting impulsively, or you could have done something impulsively, or like not been thinking about the other person, or the other person wasn't thinking about you. There's just like something that there's like a lot of sadness and like regret around something that was done impulsively, and feeling like, what else is there to do? Also, for some of you too, like you could have been feeling like neglected or something. Neglected, yes, this is what this is about. And you could have made a choice that you wouldn't have had you been feeling otherwise. I am looking at the High Priestess. I'm not pointing any fingers. I don't know who did what, and it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's like something happened and we have the opportunity to catch things where they are and turn things around, and that's what's important, and that's what we can do, and the rest of it just is what it is. Regardless of what side of this you're on. To have the High Priestess, like you may be aware of something that you haven't like said anything about, that you haven't spoken about or brought up yet, or called out. Like, I'm seeing you take a more slow approach to something that you're doing or what you're planning to do. I'm getting various storylines that are coming through, but I don't want to get so specific as to have this become like unrelatable for some of you. But I am getting some very, very specific storylines about what exactly has gone on here within this situation. Let's stick to what we can do now. I don't think we really need to like rehash, because you know what this was about for you. On to the next leg of the journey. It looks like there's something that you're doing, or something that you catch wind of, that seems like it's going to be worth it to you to be participating in. I'm seeing there be like a motivation to be a part of whatever this is, or to travel down this particular path. I was seeing Leo on the bottom of the deck. I am seeing a lot of fire. And also Mercury. caught a glimpse of Sagittarius too. Okay. So, reciprocity. You getting clarification on something that you are starting. I'm seeing there be an initiation that's connected with something that you feel like excited about doing. Like you feel motivated to be a part of this. I'm seeing something that it looks like you're in charge of here. Maybe you're also kind of switching up what you were doing. Okay, so I'm seeing you be in a space that is very, very interesting and possibly a bit volatile. If your energy is ungrounded, I'm seeing some things may go a little bit haywire potentially, only because I'm looking at the King of Wands next to the Queen of Cups here, and like the King of Wands by themselves would be somebody that's going to be kind of like in charge of other people, kind of like a moderator sort of energy, or somebody that would be like a leader, and other people would kind of like listen to their instinct and where they're going. There may be something that you're in charge of, but then I'm also seeing the Queen of Cups next to it, and if both of these energies are yours, this can turn into, like, if we're feeling in a good mood, we will be very enthusiastic and very excited about what we're doing. But if we're not in a good mood, like, you can just wreck everything. It's kind of like a temper tantrum energy with these two. That's why it's like, it can be questionable for these two to be together just because of how, they can kind of like influence one another, and if they go unchecked, it can be like very intense emotionally, because to have the feminine water here, it's like I'm feeling everything, and then to have the King of Wands here with the masculine fire energy, it's like, oh, you did this to me, I'm gonna do this. It can be very, very aggressive and very, very reactive. This is giving me like very intense Aries vibes here. And like nothing against Aries. My moon is in Aries. I have a bunch of Aries in my chart actually. But yeah, with Aries in its shadow, which like all of us have Aries, all of us have a first house. If you have a bunch of like planets or anything within your first house, then there's like Aries in your chart as well. Also like Mars, and we're not going to go into the whole breakdown of a chart. But anyway, Aries in its shadow, it can be like, as soon as you feel anything, you like react to it immediately, and it can be very like immature and even childish, and kind of like, it's very passionate, but it can be like, I'm angry now, and so I'm like smashing through the walls, and like when I'm calmed down, I'll be like, oh, who did that? That was really me. Like, I didn't mean to do that. It can be very like react to things and then later on regret it. So like this is the type of energy that I'm getting for these two characters being here together. There are other ways to channel this energy, but it's just something that you want to be mindful of. You want to know like what that looks like for you when you start slipping into that territory, so as to tread lightly. And if this is you and another person, you may feed off of one another like that. Yeah, I'm getting something about aggressive energy. Okay. It's interesting the way that like the archetypes are showing up, because they kind of seem like separate energies, how they're coming through. Now, what these two energies look like to me is somebody keeping tabs on another person, but to have hermit mode, it's like, it's kind of like this. You may not be responding to somebody's messages or their DMs, but you're like stalking their social media and watching their story, but like you won't say anything. It's like the silent watcher type of energy here. It's like you're secluded somewhere, or this person is secluded somewhere, kind of like watching it all go down, but they're like not actively participating in it. Yeah, Page of Swords and the Hermit can kind of be like a stalking energy too. Not in like an intense way. But it's just like definitely being like all up in other people's business, but also like it's like if somebody like sees you watching and like they look at you and like make eye contact with you, you're like looking away, like pretending that you weren't. It's like one of those vibes with the with the Page of Swords and the Hermit. It can be like gathering intel too. I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I'm getting this again, like investing in something like shady or shadow-like, and then it feeling like very unhappy with the outcome of it. I will say this too, like remember energies can be reversed. This can be somebody that you're involved with that like you may have caught somebody doing something. But I mean, we're starting off with the Seven of Swords, so I'm placing this as your energy, even if energies can be like reversed, but for the most part can be like anything that you were doing where you weren't being like maybe you weren't feeling like your best self in doing something. So after like all of these shenanigans happen in the first part of this spread, it looks like somebody's coming through and being like, hey, I wanted to have like a fair, I'm hearing fair and equal distribution. It's like somebody wanted things to be balanced between the two of you, and they're like, hey, you want to start this thing with me? And I'm seeing these two people here together. One would resonate or maybe like identify more so with being like more emotional and intuitive, but maybe more like impulsive emotionally. And I'm seeing the other energy would be somebody that's more, I'm hearing all of these different words. For some reason, Art Deco is coming through with the King of Wands energy. The King of Wands would be somebody that's more like in charge of things and kind of like bossy, we can say. Is how I'm reading this energy here coming through. Like somebody that likes to be in charge of things and like in control of how things are going. And now I'm seeing somebody that's, it seems like they're watching this other person like gathering information even and like keeping things to themselves and then feeling kind of stressed out, but then moving away from the stress. It's kind of like someone turns and they watch something and they start becoming very overwhelmed with the scene that begins playing out, and they're like, change the channel to something else, and then I'm seeing them move on to a situation and be moving on to like something that looks new, like a new beginning even with the Fool. This does feel like a changing of the channel that's happening. I'm seeing this as a karmic test. Heavy energy. Okay. Yeah, for some of you, you could have been like making a deal with somebody. It may not be like a literal deal. Like you could have been trying to suss out whether or not somebody was for real, or like when they said they would show up, seeing if they actually would and how they'd show up and all of that stuff. But you may have felt that either like you were doing something that would sabotage reciprocity, or you felt that somebody that you were dealing with was sabotaging reciprocity between the two of you. Because I'm seeing like one person be in an energy where they're like very much in shadow mode. And so they're like, yeah, of course things will be even between us, or like I'll pay you back or whatever. And they're like, do not intend to be paying you back at all. And so I'm seeing the other person be like, like watching this whole thing happen with their binoculars, like eyes completely focused on this scenario that's playing out. And I'm seeing them kind of go back and be like, this person is not being honest. It's like a poker face type of vibe here, where you could tell somebody's lying to you. Because they're like, yeah, I'll definitely show up. Like, things will absolutely be fair. And it's like, meanwhile, they know that they're like not telling. They know, they don't even believe what they're telling you. It's the Seven of Swords. And I'm seeing like somebody peep that. Somebody's become aware of this. Like, that person's lying. You can tell. Absolutely. So I'm seeing this person like retrieve the information and come back and be like, now what am I going to do? It's like this person kind of found out all that they needed to find out, and now they're reflecting on it, not feeling particularly happy about the situation. For some of you, this was something new that you were starting with someone here. Now it all comes together. And now you're feeling stressed out, feeling disappointed. You know that you need to take action, move away from the situation. And there's also something that's happening where, I don't know, maybe potentially like impulsivity emotionally is going to be the thing that drives you to make this choice. But like, will it really? Or do you just want to move on from that? Because I'm seeing you kind of turn your back on a situation. And it's like, I've seen enough. I don't need to see any more of this. And I know that if I'm going to like make peace with this and find resolution, I need to take it upon myself to really move on from this. But in certain ways, like, where are you moving on from? Because it's almost like you try to move away from a chaotic situation, and then like you bump into this character or these characters, which would kind of be a more like hectic energy. But maybe also you're in a space where this kind of like triggered something for you. So you're like, well, now I'm just going to act however I want because of this. Like, maybe this is a situation that feels like somewhat regressive to you in a way. But you maybe, I don't know, this could be pushing you a bit out of your comfort zone, potentially. I want to get more on these cards and see. Like, you may be being more spontaneous emotionally. Did we go over the signs? I feel like we didn't. Virgo. Is that it? Yeah. Virgo, Gemini, Uranus. Yeah, I'm seeing somebody kind of deciding to do their own thing emotionally. The energy seems a bit more erratic, especially to have Uranus there. It's kind of like somebody moving into a space where they want to just like discover things and try things out, and they're going to like let their passions lead them, but do it on like the emotional front, kind of like intuitively, let me see where I'm called, but like not committing to anything. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing patience and waiting be connected with a new beginning for you. Wait, hold on. I'm picking up something else. With the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Cups, I am seeing this, although it can be two different energies, I am seeing this be one energy. Although for some of you it can be one and also two. I'm not trying to confuse you guys. It's just, it gets very intricate when we start like breaking down the energies in all of the different ways. What I'm seeing is that for some of you, you went through this situation and you're kind of in a space where you're like, being drawn back to the Aries energy again. I know that we haven't seen Aries pop out, but I'm definitely getting somebody with like either some like strong influence of Mars that they're feeling right now, or there's something significant with the Aries in their chart that's like been activated through this. There could be a transit that's happening too right now that would be affecting all of this. So I'm seeing somebody in a space where like they may be more reactive emotionally and kind of like, let me do now and think later about this. Like I'm just kind of gonna go off and do my own thing. And to have the Uranian energy here, like next to these two, it can be like a bit volatile with these, because the Queen of Cups is like feeling like all of the feelings and everything, but not having structure, because the masculine energy is this. So for this masculine energy, it's like, oh, I feel it, I do it. Like I see the shiny thing, I'm gonna chase after it. And to like be working on that page emotionally, and also to have Uranus here, it's like you may have some very unexpected things happening. Because Uranus is a very erratic energy, so it's like unpredictable. You may be acting unpredictably or having unpredictable things or situations kind of unfold. Now, I am seeing something about a message about you and another person, but one, I'm seeing that it doesn't look like this has come through yet. Two, it may come through in a different way than you expect for it to manifest. Can we just get two more? Perfect. There's that Leo. Yeah, I'm seeing you in a debate right now. So if you have been dealing with somebody, it looks like this is somebody that you would have been connected with, or that you may still be connected with. There's some sort of message that you're going to receive that may actually change your perspective a bit. I'm seeing right now you're kind of tossing up, like, do I walk away from this or do I not? Like, am I going to find what I need or am I not? It seems like there's going to be more information to come that's going to maybe like inform the choice that you're going to make. But yeah, it seems like there's going to be like some sort of next part of the story for this, because it seems like all of the information isn't here yet, only because it hasn't taken place and like a lot is just going on in like maybe a short period of time for you. Uranus, Gemini, Leo, Neptune, which is Pisces. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.